was justice served in the sentencing of former Chicago police officer JasonVanDyke. We're talking live in studio with Van Dyke's attorney.
I will have to live with this the rest of my life, taking this to my grave.
That's former Chicago police officer JasonVanDyke, now serving a 6 to 9 year prison term, not month, for the killing of Laquan McDonald. The decision bringing to a close a criminal case that began more than 3 years ago when he was charged after the city released dashcam footage of the shooting. Now, joining us this morning is his lead defense attorney, Dan Herbert. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us here.
Thanks for having me.
Well, a lot of reaction, immediately after the sentence from the community. A lot of people upset that he received 81 months. They felt that that wasn't enough. What do you say to that?
I can understand their frustration. I'm sure that they were expecting more, but it was the right sentence in these circumstances.
What do you mean?
Well, this was a case where, Judge Gaughan, he may come under some criticism, I don't know, but he knew more than certainly the public, but more than anyone other than the attorneys in this case. It was the way in which this case was brought, was charged, and was prosecuted was different than any other case we've had, and we raised all those mitigating facts in literally thousands of pages of motions, and Judge Gaughan had the benefit of that when making his sentence.
You mean material that never made it into the trial?
Exactly, but was certainly material to the case.
That sentence comes on the heels of the acquittal of the 3 officers who were accused of conspiring to protect him. Before the trial began, you pressed the judge to move the case out of Cook County. You said at the time that JasonVanDyke could not get a fair trial. In hindsight, do you think maybe it was a mistake not to opt for a bench trial for your client?
Not at all.
Why not?
Because we didn't make that decision haphazardly. We felt and knew a really good, we had a good vibe about how the case was going. We were reading the tea leaves very well. And at the time in which we made the decision, we were very confident that our chances were going to be better with the jury trial. I would say now, as I sit here today,
you do it again?
Without a doubt, in this case.
Okay, so
based on what we know.
Based on what we have right now, the presumption is that you will be appealing the original ruling, the verdict, and you're going to obviously appeal as far as you can go. What do you think your chances are at this point of changing things? I mean, some people would look at it and say, he's lucky he got 6 years. He got off really easy. But then there are others that say, he shouldn't even have been found guilty at this point.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I was the trial lawyer, and I'm going to take a step back for the appeal, and we have a couple of appeal lawyers that are going to go forward. But I saw firsthand all the motions that we filed that weren't granted that I thought should have been granted, and at the time I was thinking, well, these are going to be great appellate issues. I don't know if this case is going to go to the appellate court, because that's my client's decision, and in light of the sentence, he may not want to risk undoing that sentence.
The sentence is one thing. This is a cop who's going to prison. When our Dane Placco spoke to him before the trial, he seemed almost to be a broken man, a shell of himself, very emotional. How is your client holding up this morning?
I know I came under some criticism for talking about how my client was happy, and I stand behind those, but I think that the reason is that there was that first glimpse of happiness is this guy was broken. He was destroyed. And when he received that sentence, it was the first time that this guy received a little bit of hope and recognized that his life was not over. He knew that going forward, the things that were most important to him, he's going to go to jail. It's going to be very difficult. He's going to probably never be able to get a decent job. He's always, the headline of his obit, without a doubt, is going to be about this case. But the things that are most important to him, that can't be taken away, he knew on that day of sentencing, he knew that he was going to be able to experience that again.
How is his family doing?
They're also so relieved and happy that they're going to be able to see their husband, but they're scared to death about, Jason's going to a prison. Prison is filled with people that, that
don't like police.
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
That don't like police, and quite frankly, there's some bad people there. And JasonVanDyke's going to do what he has to do to protect himself, but the family is, they're struggling financially, and they're doing everything they can to keep themselves afloat.
Going to have to be the last word. Dan Herbert, thank you so
thank
much
you
for
for coming
updating
in.
us this
Okay.
morning. Appreciate it. Let's send it to Mike.